What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sons of Sever YouTube channel, where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. My name is Eric. Today my brother Chris and I will be reviewing 3 pairs of sandals from Luna. It's a really cool brand. If you've read Born to Run, then you know about Barefoot Ted, a pretty prominent figure in that story overall, and he is the guy who started Luna Sandals and designed these things. So obviously he's got a lot of experience in the space. Kudos to him for making such a cool product, and we're happy that they sent us out 3 different pairs that we could try so that we can review them for you. Today we're going to talk about all the things we like and don't like about them. So Chris and I will go back and forth doing that. There's timestamps in the description if you want to jump around, but I'm going to send it over to him now to talk to you about the Hemp Monkey and the Venado, and then it'll be my turn to talk about the Middlebear.
Getting into my likes for the Hemp Monkey and the Venado, the first thing that I want to do is kind of categorize the likes that I'm going to mention here. So I want to talk about the shape of these, I want to talk about the strap system, I want to talk about the footbeds, and I want to talk about the stack heights. Starting with the shape of these, all of these are going to be shaped the same because all Lunas are shaped the same, and I love the shape of the Lunas. Their shape gives my toes plenty of room to splay out on the footbed without having to worry about my toes finding the edge, which is very nice. Moving on to the strap systems. The straps are made out of different material. We have performance material on the Venado and we have hemp over on the Hemp Monkey, but they're set up more or less the same. The biggest difference going to be that the Hemp Monkey has the wing over here on the side and the Venado doesn't. It just laces through the footbed itself. But other than that, they are very much set up the same way. They have the same tightening system, and overall I found the system to be comfortable and to work really well when it came to getting these things on and off quickly. Now, I will say in my dislike category, they're not very adjustable, but once you get them adjusted to the right spot, you don't have to move them again. You can slip the heel portion of the strap down your heel, slip your foot out, and then on the other side, slip your foot in, and then pull that strap up over your heel and not have any issues. Getting to the footbeds, over on the Venado, we have their monkey grip footbed, which I found to add just a little bit of squish that was really nice, but it's very, very grippy and holds your foot onto the sandal really well. So I didn't experience my foot slipping around on that monkey grip, whether I was wearing socks or not, but I also found that it wasn't abrasive, because sometimes that's an issue with a grippy footbed, is that it becomes abrasive to your toes and can give you blisters and stuff like that. Didn't have any of those issues with the monkey grip. Over on the Hemp Monkey, obviously we have a hemp canvas topper. Again, potential to be abrasive to the toes, but whether I was wearing socks or not, I didn't have any problems with that. Also did a pretty good job at keeping my foot from slipping around on the footbed, so I like that hemp topper. Getting into the stack heights and maybe the traction patterns as well, this is where you're going to find the most major difference between these. The Venado is 9mm and the Hemp Monkey is 15. So talking about the Venado first at 9mm, that's a really well-rounded stack height. You could totally do comfortable road runs in this, and I did, but at the same time, it's not overblown to the point where it looks weird out in casual settings. So these are just a really well-rounded sandal from a stack height standpoint. And talking about the traction pattern on the bottom, it's just a textured Vibram outsole. It's going to wear off pretty quickly, especially if you do use this for road running, but I don't think that it's a major issue. It's not a huge selling point for the sandal itself. You could road run a ton in this and wear that texturing off, and it's not going to give you any long-term issues for what you should be using this sandal for. Moving over to the Hemp Monkey at 15mm with a much chonkier Vibram Mega Grip outsole. Obviously, this thing is going to be pretty purpose-built for hiking and trail running. It's going to look a little bit goofy out in casual settings just because of how thick it is, but in my opinion, it's passable. I loved this thing for road running because of the thickness. I also loved it for trail running and for hiking in general because of that specific use of outsole pattern and because of the thickness overall. So those are all things that I liked about these. Wrapping up my likes portion of this video, I like both of these. I think they are awesome options and they are definitely purpose built for different things. So hopefully this gives you kind of a good overview of the big differences between the two and where they're both really good.
Okay, so when it comes to my likes of the Middlebear, They position this one on the website as kind of like their Goldilocks sandal of their lineup, and I think it really fits that, and that's one thing that I really like about it. I think that it does a good job casually as well as running and trail running and hiking. It can definitely excel in each of those situations, and one thing that really makes that true is just the overall comfort of the sandal. So this footbed, it's about a 14mm stack height. I found it to be one of the best well-balanced footbeds. It's not too firm and it's not too squishy. I think it's just right. I also like the material that the straps have been made out of. It's very soft and it's really nice on your feet, as well as this nice heel pad. Not all the sandals that we've tried have padding on the heel, and so that is something that adds to the comfort of this one. Another cool feature with that heel pad is a kind of clever innovation that they have with it where it can slide back and forth. So I really like that because it means that you can tighten the heel strap and then you can still move that heel pad so that it's in the right spot. There's a few other sandals out there where the heel pad is sewn onto the strap, and we ran out of space to tighten that strap, and it started getting in the way of being able to tighten it more. And so the way that this one has been made is a really good innovation on that, and it works really well. I really like this outsole that it has. This pattern that is on it that's paired with the Mega Grip Vibram material has done an amazing job, especially when it got wet. I was really impressed with walking around at the bottom of this waterfall and then going up this steeper bank and it gripping much better than I thought that it was going to. So even when this thing is wet, it really does a great job, and obviously it does a great job on dry ground too. So I guess to sum up all those likes for me, I really like how well-rounded this one is. I like the overall comfort that it has, its performance on the trail, especially in water, and I really like that heel pad and the way that they've innovated there. All right, before we get on to the dislikes of the sandals, we do want to take a moment to take a break for our sponsor of this video, which is Creepers Toe Socks. Of the 20+ brands of toe socks that we have tried at this point, Creepers have always been our favorite. They have an amazing merino wool blend that does a really great job on cutting down on blisters, keeping your feet comfortable in hot conditions and cold conditions. We wear them literally every single day for every single activity. They've got a ton of different fun colors, they've got different lengths, and they've got new stuff that's going to be coming down the pipeline soon as well. So if you're looking for the best pair of toe socks out there, we would highly suggest Creepers Toe Socks. Use that link in our description to get to their website, and thank you Creepers for sponsoring this video.
Getting into my dislikes for these two sandals, I'm going to start with the Venado, and the main thing that I'm not loving here is going to be the way that that grip pattern is dissolving on the bottom. Like I said, based on the purposes that this specific sandal is built for, that's probably not the biggest deal in the world, but I would prefer this to stay as grippy as long as humanly possible, just because I want that feature to be there. So if it's gone, and that's a bummer. But again, that's kind of a small potatoes thing. Going over to the Hemp Monkey, one of the biggest things that I'm noticing is that the hemp topper is kind of fraying around the edges, and maybe that'll just take some cleanup and it'll probably stop at some point, but I'm not a huge fan of the way that that is wearing. Now, I've worn these a lot and I've beaten the crap out of them, and for that I think they're holding up pretty good overall, but that hemp topper does seem to be shredding just a bit. As far as a dislike for both of them, I kind of mentioned it in my likes, but that strap system is not very adjustable. So if you do find them a little bit uncomfortable after you're wearing them for a while with how you adjusted them, you are going to have to readjust them. And that is unfortunate because that's not the quickest task in the whole wide world. Is it the biggest deal? No, because again, like I talked about in my likes, you can slip these on and off if you set them up correctly, and you're not going to have any problems with them not being secure, being set up that way. At least I haven't, but I always prefer a quick adjustment system over one that takes a little bit more effort. That's just me.
All right, so when it comes to my dislikes of the Middlebear, there's one thing that I can think of, and it's how difficult it's been for me to adjust the straps. I like how comfortable they are in the material, like I said, and this heel pad is really nice, but adjusting them has been kind of a pain in the butt for me. So it's got this clip on top of the straps right there that goes on top of your foot, and I think that's a really innovative and cool design that they've come up with, but I just wish that it was easier to first slide up and down the sandal like that. Like, it takes a lot more effort than I think that it should. And then this one that does the strap that comes across your foot is really hard to adjust to, especially when it's on your foot. When I have it on my foot and I'm trying to get that just right feel, it's really tough to tighten it. It's easy to loosen, really hard to get back tight again. And because of that, it always felt like it was either too loose or too tight. I could never get it just right. So possibly user error, but on these wings as well, if you were trying to adjust this entire thing, pulling it through these points on the wings was also really difficult. So for me, if anything needed to be reworked, it would be that. Just make this more easy to adjust so that I can get that just right fit, because I do want to take these out. So I love the way that the outsole performs. I love the footbed, and I love the material that the straps are made out of. It's really comfortable overall. But again, it was just tough for me to get the fit just right so that I felt secure enough in the sandal to want to keep coming back to them, which I think is a really important thing when it comes to going running and trail running and hiking in a sandal. So if anything needs to be reworked, I'd say it's just the ability to adjust these straps.
Getting into my final opinion on the Hemp Monkey and the Venado. Would I recommend these to somebody who's looking for a barefoot style adventure sandal? Totally. The difference between them is going to depend on your needs. Ultimately, though, I would say that with the Venado, you get something that's a little bit more versatile. You could totally hike in it. You could totally trail run, road run, wear casually. It is going to lack a little bit in the protective department, however, but I think it's going to perform well in all those situations. The opposite is going to be true for the Hemp Monkey. This thing is definitely built to be a performance hiker, trail runner kind of sandal, but you could wear it casually if you really wanted to. It's not going to look too crazy out of place at the movie theater, on the beach, wherever you end up wanting to wear this thing. But just keep in mind, it is kind of overbuilt for casual wear. So it all comes down to what you think you're going to use this thing for the most, but I think both of them are fantastic options.
All right, so when it comes to my final opinion of the Luna Middlebear, would I recommend this for other people who are looking for an adventure sandal? And I definitely would. I love the outsole, I love the footbed, I love the way the straps feel on your foot. My only gripe about them is that they were a little bit hard to adjust so that my foot felt secure without it feeling too tight or too loose. But again, maybe that's just user error. Maybe other people have had a better experience with that and I'm just not patient enough with it. But there is a ton to like about this sandal. I especially liked the way that it felt in water. I forgot to mention this earlier, but this monkey grip footbed that they have does a pretty good job. It doesn't feel too slick when it's wet. You still feel like you have a little bit of grip, much like the Bedrocks that we reviewed last week. Performance wise, this thing does really, really good. If you're looking for a barefoot style adventure sandal, then I definitely think this is one that you need to consider.
Folks, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All those things really help the channel out. If you're interested in any of the products that we talked about in this video, there will be links to them down in the description. If we have discount codes for any of those companies, they will be featured with the links. If you want to get more content from us, there are 3 different places you can get it. The first one is Patreon, where for $1 a month, you can get exclusive behind-the-scenes content we don't post anywhere else. If you want to be most up-to-date with what we are working on, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we are constantly posting unboxing videos. Go follow us on Strava if you're interested in seeing mini reviews in real time of the products we're using and what we're using them for. Strava allows you to track and post about your different activities. We track and post about our runs, trail runs, hikes, paddleboarding, and weightlifting, and we do little mini reviews on the products we're using during those activities. Go follow us there, and we will follow you back. We appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.